Welcome to another edition of Fit and Fire. I'm Mark, and I really appreciate you guys stopping by. So real quick, before we get into this video, down in the description below, I've got a ton of different links for you guys to check out, to include fitandfire.com. That's my website to supplement these videos and to show you all the different things that I've got going on, things that I have found on the internet, some great deals, ways to save you guys money, and then my build list on my AR-15s and a lot of other stuff. So by all means, swing by, check out my website. I'd really appreciate it. So let's get into this video. This time we're talking about the Palmetto State Armory PA-9, and here we go. We've got it right here. I am very excited about this because I have had very little to no experience with pistol caliber carbines, or PCCs as a lot of people call them, and this is kind of my indoctrination into PCCs. So this is going to be a learning adventure for me, and I hope that you guys are able to learn something as well. So let's talk about this particular setup here real quick, and then we can kind of get into the idea behind PCCs for possibly home defense or other applications as well. So right out of the bat, we've got two different configurations, or two different components rather, from Palmetto State Armory. The upper receiver is going to be the PA-9, the lower receiver is going to be the PX-9. We'll talk about the differences in those here in just a second. But the upper receiver is a 7075 T6 forged aluminum upper receiver, and then it has the PSA G9 hybrid bolt carrier group. That is equipped with a 8-inch barrel with the 7-inch M-LOK Palmetto State handguard. The muzzle device is going to be kind of your standard A2 style flash hider, and it's a true flash hider because it has the slits all the way around the muzzle device. It has a standard charging handle, and that basically covers the upper receiver. So the lower receiver is the PX-9, and the difference between the lower and the upper is the fact that the PX-9 is a 7075 T6 billet aluminum receiver. So that's the difference. Forged on top, billet on the bottom. With that being said, it does take Glock style magazines, which is something that is a huge plus for me. We'll talk about that here in just a second. It has a standard Magpul MOE pistol grip, a mil-spec trigger, but this is the PSA enhanced mil-spec trigger. So it's going to be polished up a little bit, and the pull on it's going to be a little bit lighter. So instead of your 7-ish pounds, it's going to be about 6-ish pounds, right? So that's something I really like, just that little bit of an upgrade. And then finally, as you can see, it's got the SB Tactical PDW brace, which is really cool. It makes this thing look super, super cool. So that basically covers the highlights of this PCC. Now let's talk about some of the things that are a little new to me, and one of the things that I'm not really used to as of yet. First thing is the fact that this is a non-bolt hold open design. So as you can see, empty magazine, open the bolt, it doesn't stay open, right? So that's something I have to get used to as I'm firing, and then it goes click. Oh, is that because a round didn't go off? Was it a failure to eject, a failure to feed? What's the problem? Or am I just completely out of rounds? Just one of the things I have to get used to when it comes to this style of PCC. The other thing is the magazine release is where you would find it on an AR-15, which is very nice. All the controls are very similar to an AR-15, which is perfect because I'm very familiar with that platform. But the thing I don't like about this particular one is the fact that it has a polymer magazine release. So that's just one thing that you're going to get a lot of use out of your magazine release. You know, you're really going to be hitting that button a lot, and I'm concerned that it will wear out after time. That's just one of my major concerns with this setup. Outside of that, I've put about 200 rounds downrange with this, with 3 different trips to the range, and I've really had a lot of fun shooting this. Full disclosure, I was going to get this out of the way here. Palmetto State Armory did send this to me. I didn't buy this, but that is not going to really change my opinion about this whatsoever. They're not paying me to say anything good about it, but I can tell you, with my experience between this and the MP5 clone that I have, I've had a lot of fun shooting both of those styles of platforms, and we're going to talk about the differences between those two in future videos. So that's a great thing that I've got going, the fact that I've got an AR style and then an MP5 style platform to kind of compare and contrast PCCs, or the modern PCCs as we see them. So that is what we've got going on with this. Let's talk about why a PCC. Why is pistol caliber carbines becoming more and more popular? Well, there's a couple different reasons. With this particular variation, if you're doing an AR-9 or an AR-15 variant in a pistol caliber cartridge, there's a couple different reasons why it's so popular. One is 45 and 9mm is very easy to get, especially if you do a 9mm version. Ammunition is pretty freaking cheap right now, so it's going to make trips to the range or training extremely affordable for you guys. The great thing about this particular model is the fact that, like I said, it does accept Glock magazines. So if you're a Glock guy, kind of like I am, I've got a Glock 19, I've got a Glock 26, and I have 26, 19, 17, and the extended magazines. This will take all 4 variations of those, which is really handy. And then the fact that you don't have to have 2 different setups for this and your pistol. You can carry as much 9mm as you can on your body and you're good to go, because everything interchanges. I think that's a great asset for a home defense or maybe a ranch defense style type situation. The other thing is, with pistol caliber carbines, you can extend the barrel. This, like I said, this is an 8-inch barrel, but you can go 8, 10, 16-inch barrel lengths or shorter, but the longer the barrel, the more potential energy you're going to be able to extract out of that 9mm round. What I mean by that is, the longer the barrel, the more pressure is built up as that round is traveling down the barrel, which means a higher velocity and more kinetic energy on impact of your intended target. So that really increases the potential of lethality of the 9mm round on certain targets, whether that be watermelons or, you know, home invader or whatever the case may be. And then one of the final things that is extremely appealing is the fact that if you have a setup like this, where it's only like an 8-inch barrel, even though you're getting a higher velocity, you're still not going to have to really worry about over penetration like you would with a 5.56, a 300 blackout, or a 7.62 by 39. So in urban environments where you may live in an apartment or townhome, duplex, or maybe your house is really close to your neighbors like I am, I'm maybe 10 yards away from my next door neighbor, and if I'm shooting to an exterior wall, the chances of it going through my wall and then my neighbor's wall is very slim. So that's something else that people have really appreciated about the AR style pistol caliber carbine. So moving forward, we're going to pit this up against my MP5 clone. We're going to talk about the differences between the AR style versus the MP5 style. We're going to talk about the advantages between the two and the disadvantages between the two, and go from there and kind of give you guys a series of videos for you to make a determination on whether or not this is something that you guys would like, or a MP5 variant would be something that you guys would like as well. I will have links to the upper and lower receiver over on fitandfire.com, so if you guys are interested in seeing what all the different specifications are on those, I'll have links to that. You guys can check it out. It'll be on my builds tab, so swing on by and check that out. So there you go. That is the PSA PA-9 or PX-9, whichever you want to call it. Let me know what you guys think. Are pistol caliber carbines something that you guys are interested in? And if you have one, what are you guys running? Sound off in the comment section down below. I would love to hear what you guys got going on. That's basically it. If I could say, if I could get through my words here, I really do appreciate you guys swinging by, It means a lot. Thank you so much for all the support, all the thumbs up, shares, likes, the comments, everything you guys are doing. I sure do appreciate it. And with that, all I got this time comes a high five as usual. You ready? Here we go. If you made it this far in the video, then I'd really appreciate you guys would consider subscribing. You can do that right here. Or if you want to check out some other videos that I've got going, check them out right here. If you like the hoodies and shirts that I'm wearing, that's Revolutionary Patriot. I got a link to their website down in the description below with a discount code. And as always, keep on dropping those bells and shells. Thanks, y'all.